Hello, oh, it's lovely to see you. This video is dedicated to all my friends who are overthinkers like me. I want to help you with three clear things this particular video. Firstly, it's to really look at what your priorities are for the upcoming weeks, months and the year, so that you can properly get your head on straight and not have to keep worrying and stressing about what you should be doing and you're not doing any of it. The second thing is to how to actually plan all this stuff in and when to do it and what help you might need to do it. And then thirdly, how to actually create a simple routine so that you can work through each segment of each project step by step. I'll give you the reason why. Yesterday was the final day I had to complete my visa renewal process. We've moved to France from the UK, and the visa renewal process, it ain't no picnic. It is my fourth go at doing it, so I should kind of know what I'm doing by now, and it is less of a mystery. However, I decided I'd clean out my kitchen cupboards instead. So I had to give myself a proper talking to yesterday and actually get round to it. And I did do it, and I did use my checklist that I created so that my mental load didn't have to overly scrutinise every moment. It was just plug and play, do this, do this, do this, and don't overly worry about it. So this is for you, come on in. So how do you start to unravel all the stuff that's going around in your mind? Because if you're anything like me, you will think, oh, I probably should be investing. Oh God, I haven't done my will yet. And oh my God, what is lasting powers of attorney again? Oh God, and my pensions, I still haven't sorted out my pensions. But also, what did I spend on shopping last week? And it's just, it just all goes around in your head, doesn't it? And it just doesn't seem to stop. Breathe. We are going to sort that out right now. I've designed something. I'm going to show it to you on screen just now, and I'm going to take you through it. It's called a matrix. It's really similar to the Eisenhower matrix you've probably learned in school or in a workplace. And it just literally takes you through 4 quadrants of ways to brain dump things that you need to be doing. So you've got 4 quadrants. We've got needs attention now, this week, next week. We've got planning ahead this month, next 3 to 4 months. We've got simplify, so the stuff that's really driving you crazy that probably could be broken down into smaller pieces, and also release. Is there stuff on your mental to-do list that could be delegated to somebody else in your household, another family member, or can it be released and put on a list for next year? Let's have a tiny dive into this a little more deeply. So needs attention now does what it says on the tin, really, doesn't it? Anything that you know you need to take action on that has got to be done as soon as possible. And it might be your car insurance is coming up for renewal and your current company has quoted you another £200, £300 a year. And you're thinking, I'm not bloody paying that. It's time just to stick it in your diary, do it this evening, get a gin and tonic if need be. So have a look through a couple of price comparison sites. It may be that you don't get a deal that's necessarily cheaper than what you're paying now, but it may be static with what you're paying now. So, the sake of an hour's work this evening, you've just saved yourself a few £100. Now let's move ahead to the planning ahead section. So this is kind of like one of my favourite parts. And yes, I still get frustrated with myself because I don't always plan everything to the nth degree. I don't think anybody can, when you've got a really busy life, who hasn't got a busy life? And you forget things, but in the best possible way, planning ahead is going to be your saving grace in all of the home finance and life admin malarkey. So this is where you'll be writing down stuff that you need to do, but it's not really time sensitive or it's not really massively urgent. So things in here might be creating that planful budget that you keep promising yourself you're going to do, and you still haven't quite got round to it. Dedicate a month to it. Now, I'll tell you now, April 26, which is coming up as I'm recording this video as of tomorrow, it is full-on financial wellbeing month. I freelance as well as do my own business. I freelance with a company called Finwell Training, and we do some incredible masterclasses, one-to-one guidance sessions. We've got a whole learning hub and academy, and this is specifically for employers for their employees. Any size of business. I work a lot specifically with NHS and particular police trust as well. And we have got so many people who love to sign up for this stuff that we have created a beautiful suite. When I say we, the raw we, the owner of the business, Ryan, has created an amazing suite of offers. So if you are an employee who's got direct links to the HR manager, or you're the wellbeing lead, or you own a business, this is a really, really great tool for your employees. I shall link it below. So simplify. This is really important because I think, a classic overthinker overthinks and overcomplicates. So what can be simplified that you need to do? For example, is your paperwork disorganized? I've got a folder now, I didn't have for a while. I've got a folder now and it's beautifully organized. Everything's got its own tab. And I'm really sad. They have to be white tabs. I can't have those coloured tabs. It makes my brain go a bit funny. So I've got white tabs and everything's got its own place. So anytime, and the French love a bit of paperwork, anytime I need a piece of paperwork for yet another photocopy for something, it's in there. I can find it really easily. It could be that you've got unused subscriptions or overlapping accounts. Maybe you've got a couple of current accounts as a married couple, and actually you realise you're paying for these for services such as certain insurances or, like holiday benefits, and you're not even using them. So these are the kinds of things that you can streamline and simplify as well as save some money. And then lastly, the release mechanism I told you about. This is where you're going to think, do you know what? Do I really need this on my list this year, or can it wait? And I've got a really lovely visual to share with you in just a few seconds to help you really understand what that looks like. Or it could be that you're doing absolutely everything for, you and your partner, and you think, well, hang on a minute, you bloody sort your own car finance out. Trust it. So on to point number 2, how to layer in different elements of finance, particularly when you don't feel confident with your financial literacy. You don't really know what's out there. And this is something that I was worried about for quite some time before I started doing this. And it's just, when you look at personal finance, there are so many elements that you can learn if you really wanted to. But just don't worry about that for the moment. What's important to you? So I've created this really cool visual that I just like, because it means that at the very centre, your absolute hub is going to be your everyday budgeting and planning. And I can't overemphasize that enough, because when you're centralized in on the stuff that really matters to you, what's getting done every day, every week, every month, your centralized system for you and your family, your own home economics, everything else does just feel like noise. So if you, metaphorically speaking, visually speaking, bring a balloon close to you. For example, we've just done that with our wills, as I said before, and it's now done. I can let that pop back up and it can float off again. And then something else will come into my vision that we'll need to prioritise from a time perspective or an importance perspective. So this might be really, really useful for you to actually see what some of the things are that you might like to consider. But of course, I've left some of them blank as well. So if you do want to print it and write your own stuff on it, then please feel free to do so. I'll leave the link for this entire free reset guide in the comments below. Grab your copy. So just back a couple of steps then to the thought of having a hub. And also I want to recognise the fact that a couple of videos ago, I did do one specifically around your values-based goal setting. I don't like the term goal setting unless I'm in a corporate work environment. That's just like, that's how it feels to me. But having a values-based intention, if you will, it allows you to think about what's really important in your life and your family, and it brings that to the fore, and it gives your heart and your creativeness somewhere to go as well. So take, for example, if you really want to feel like you're really nourishing your home finances and to make sure that your family are really set up for a lovely year, that's going to have a really nice flavour and a nice energy to it. And I think when you're thinking about protecting your family, which also comes as part and parcel of one of the layered practical elements, the very idea of protecting your family feels different. It doesn't feel like a tick list. It doesn't feel like you've got to go and get life insurance. It actually becomes something that is a tangible, heart-led decision that you want to protect your family. It's time to go and sort out your life insurance. Okay, so let's have a think about point number 3. So this is how to create a time, a date, an actual point in your house, a part in your house that you're going to make this stuff happen. Now, I like a kitchen. I don't know about you, but I've got my iPad here with my little keyboard on it. I like to spread out. It's got a nice big table, and I like to make sure that I've got my paperwork in front of me. I can log into all of my accounts really simply, and I can go to town, whether that's weekly, monthly, every 2 or 3 months, seasonally, whatever I want to do. I've got the capacity, the room, the space, the stuff that I need around me to make it happen. The problem I think happens when you are an overthinker, it's like even just doing this video. I'm faffing about with lights and I'm doing this. It's just like, for Christ's sake, just bloody do the video. It's a bit like that with your finances. It's stop faffing. If you've got the organisation in place in the first place, you are going to be able to go, right, I want that folder, I want my laptop, I'll get my coffee, maybe light a nice candle, put some music on in the background, gentle music, and I can think clearly and get my bits and pieces done. So setting yourself up to be successful, I think, is most of the problem for us procrastinators. The other thing from a mindset point of view, this might resonate. How hard do you work every week, every month to bring in your income? And how hard do you work to do that? So when you get home, does it not feel like a bit of a personal insult if you're not taking care of what you've earned in the first place? And I don't mean that to be judgmental, because we all do it. It's just like, oh God, I'm knackered. Right, come on, let's order a takeaway. Let's do this. Let's go here tomorrow. Let's go there tomorrow. We'll bung it on the credit card. That's how most of us lead our financial lives. It's sort of, the ends sort of meet usually somewhere, but it's never intentionally done. So then you find, oh God, I don't know how much money I've got in my account, and I haven't got any savings, or I haven't got enough savings. I've got about £3 on the credit card. I don't really like it, but it just seems to always be about £3, and don't even know how much I'm paying on interest. This is the muddle. This is the discombobulation that I was referring to earlier, because you've not put a process in place, and that's, perfectly normal. Don't worry. I'm not judging you. I'm not being unkind in any way. That's what I'm here for. When you haven't got your own process in place, it is just that constant background messiness that feels uncomfortable. So if you want to change how you're doing this, this particular guide, as I say, you can grab it in the link in the notes below, is going to be for you. So I'm going to just now take you through the specifics of the steps that I've written in. And again, there's space for you to put your own steps in. But if you were to print this or just have it available on your laptop or your phone whilst you're working, if you make it a weekly habit, a monthly habit, you're going to find that it takes away that stress of what am I meant to be doing? What's my login? You'll just do it. And it'll be done really quickly, like within an hour. It might take a bit longer in the first place, but it will end up becoming quite a slick process for you to do. Right, let's go through. So the first thing is about gathering your numbers together. Now, this can take ages if you haven't done it for a long, long time, and it might feel stressful. But please don't worry, because once you've done it a couple of times, you'll be like, okay, I'm in the flow of it now. I can get the hang of it. So the first time that you do this, you might find, do you know what? I totally forgot about that account. I haven't put any money in there for ages. And that then might spark a bit of a chain reaction of, God, perhaps I ought to sort out all the bank accounts as well. And that's fine. Let all of those ideas and those thought processes come, write them down. It doesn't mean you've got to attack everything straight away and get completely sidetracked by doing the thing and then not taking care of anything else. The first time you do this, treat it as a bit of an overview, so you can think, right, okay, what is going to work for me? What is going to work for us? What do I leave for another time? You can even use that quadrant principle to actually list your to-dos within that. So take what you want out of this, leave what you don't want, add your own flavour in, obviously. Now, number 2, the honest spending snapshot. Depending on your spending style, this might sting a bit. This is where you're going to literally look at your credit card statements, your bank statements, and you are going to be honest with yourself. Where is your money going? If you think, do you know what, last month we didn't spend much money actually, so it's a bit of an anomaly. Perhaps I ought to go back a month and back another month. Here's a tip for you. I will cover this properly in another video because I don't want this to become a real big thing for you at this stage, because I've got some other frameworks I can put around this to really support you on this, because it can get a little bit silly. If you're using ChatGPT as an example, I've not tried Claude or any of the others yet. I'm just on a ChatGPT setup. Download your bank statements, your credit card statements, so they're in PDF format. Ask ChatGPT to analyse them for you. Now, here's my caveat. I'm going to be building my own budget bot of some kind, and I'm going to put that into my one-to-one guidance programs that I offer one-to-one clients, and use it appropriately, because it's going to be built so that actually some really good guidelines, really good questions, really good analysis, thought-provoking, heart-led analysis is going to be included into that. So, but if you want to do this properly and actually just give yourself a proper honest snapshot, but you can't face hours of highlighting or printing loads of stuff, download your bank statements in PDF format, load them up into ChatGPT. It will analyse it for you. Ask it to tell you where you're spending your money, what are your top categories, or how would it suggest you utilise any and all categories, and then look at it. Okay, so when you looked at your spending, you're going to need to sit with that for a while, and you might be really pleased with what you see, you might be fairly neutral about it, or you might be slightly horrified. We can cover that in another video in terms of how you can become a better, more intentional spender. But for now, this reset is for you to take a snapshot, just to understand what's going on for you, and then you can think, oh, do you know what? Right, we need to have a little think and a chat about this as a family, as a couple, or if you're living solo, as I did for many, many years, you can then think, right, what do I need to do differently? Number 3, the forgotten expenses. If you don't already use a calendar or a diary, digital, paper or otherwise, this is where this can be very, very useful for you, because all of those forgotten expenses that you forgot last year, you'll probably forget again this year. Some obvious seasonal patterns, and there'll be, your car servicing, the stuff you pay for once a year invariably. Those are the things you could put on your calendar, and that way you've got a planned approach to how you're going to feature those into your budget when you get around to actually creating that. But the forgotten expenses are, when I speak to people, they're nearly always like, oh God, there's always something to pay for. It really pisses me off, because every time I think I'm getting on the front foot again, there's another wave of expenses that I hadn't considered that I've got to pay for. Well, I just want to challenge you here and just ask yourself, can you hand on heart say that was genuinely unexpected? Because of course they happen, but actually, did you just forget about them? Okay, number 4, the credit reset. Again, this is not about making you feel like crap. Please try and make sure that you don't feel ashamed or guilty. Guilty is what you've done. Shame is how you feel. Again, that's for another video. But at this point, you're just looking almost through somebody else's eyes at your accounts and thinking, right, okay, let's check out how we're using credit responsibly, or maybe we need to tweak it so that it becomes more responsible. What are you using in terms of credit? What are you using it for? Is it part and parcel of your cash flow? Are you getting a benefit out of using credit? For example, air miles, or any of those other things that you can get in terms of using your credit. Or has it just kind of become part and parcel of your everyday routine, and you're not entirely sure how that happened, but you'd quite like it to stop? Okay, so there are 3 points, and please don't forget to grab your own guide so you can do this for yourself. And I'd love to know in the comments, what would you add in? What do you think I've forgotten in this guide? What do you think will be a really useful piece to add into that for yourself or anybody else? And secondly, what other fundamental money management videos would you like for me to do next? Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely day. It's around fundamental money, I can't say it.